2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5, 6, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9, 10, 11, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5, 6 Mississippi, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. All right, so 25, 27 seconds off and about 14 seconds running the pump. So again, 14 seconds running and 25 to 27 seconds off. Try it one more time. And I can see the seconds on my phone, so it's not just me counting. Let's try it again. On Mississippi, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, about 14 to 15 running, and about 25, 27 off. I can figure my calculations. I'm going to possibly be installing a CSV valve, cycle stop valve, and see how this fixes the cycling on and off. Right now my system is making RO water, so it'll run for a good 20 minutes doing this. So we'll figure out how many cycles that is, because that can't be good for the pump, which is over here. The little pressure relief valve was leaking. I just screwed it back on, but you can see there's no water until the pump comes on because of the check valve, which I got to replace because the check valve is leaking also, probably from the cycling of the submersible here. This is set to come on at about 240 and to go off at about 280. That's 40 gallons. Takes about 20 minutes. Let's look at the gauge. I think it's pushing 2 gallons a minute. I'll have to look at that. Let's double check that. And 1.5 right there, that line, and that says 3. So between 1.5 and 3, I think that says 3. Yeah. So pushing close to 2 gallons a minute. All right. Draining some water so I can drop the float level so we can make some RO water. Let's see what our cycle stop valve does. So I installed a new 1.25" check valve. Reduced to 1 inch. 2 slip unions so I can remove the cycle stop valve in case I ever need to. And also for the check valve so I can remove that and replace it if it ever goes bad. Okay, I think we've activated the float switch. I think I heard the pressure switch click. So let me turn the water off over here and we'll be right back. All right, so we're going to turn on our pump. The cycle stop valve, I asked them to preset it at 55 from the factory. This is the first time it's going to come on. It's going to make RO water at about 2 gallons per minute. Turn this on. Gonna plug in our pump and pray for the best. That's the old line that used to go to or come from the old well in the front. I replaced that a year or so ago. I also put a spigot here just to relieve the pressure in case it's too high. I don't know what it's going to be, but my calculation is should be no more than 150 psi at about 2 gallons per minute or so. I'll leave that open for now. We're going to turn this on for the first time. All right, pump is on. Let's see what PSI we get. Should get 55. We're nowhere near 55 yet. So we may have introduced some air in there. So we'll let that go a second. It is making water. Okay, so here's one problem. Pushing more than 75 psi. So let's close that valve. I can set that to something else later. See if we get 55 here. Pushing 2 gallons a minute, which is correct, but only 45 psi. Evidently, instead of 55, they set this at 45. I'm going to have to adjust it. I'm trying to adjust the cycle stop valve to 55. It's nowhere near that. Talking with Sam Austin at cycle stop valve, he said that 55 should work. So that's what we're trying to get here. so we're about there. Looks like 55 or 54. Trying to keep it about 55. There we go. Pushing 2 gallons a minute, which is correct. Keep in mind, my pump was cycling about 500 times a day. And right now, with this valve working as intended, it looks like it's going to cycle 4 times a day, because it makes water about 4 times a day. As per our usage, which is about 160 gallons a day. And the float switch is set at about 40 gallons. So it comes on 4 times a day, refilling itself. And it was taking about 400 to 500 cycles of the submersible pump to fill this 4 times. So I've had the unit about 5 weeks. I've calculated to be almost 15,000 cycles of the submersible pump in 5 weeks. So to me that was unacceptable, and right now that cycle stop valve is doing its job. It's holding at about 55. When it shuts off, it should go up to about 60, and then the pressure switch will shut the pump off. Wow, that's amazing. All right, I may shut the valve here instead of waiting for that to fill up. That's doing very well. We're getting every bit of 2 gallons per minute, which is what the system calls for. 2,900 a day, I believe. Changed the filter yesterday or the day before. We're holding at 54, 55 PSI. This is awesome. This thing is very touchy. So I'm going to try to keep it at 55, but it don't take much to move it. See if that's close enough. So let's turn off the RO water pump, and we'll see how long it takes to get to 60 PSI. Turn it off in 2, 1, off. All right, it was only 11 seconds. Not sure if that's okay. They did say a minute is appropriate, but I don't know why. Would less be worse? Anyway, I don't know how much PSI the system is pushing, or the pump is making here. Let's turn on the spigot. Maybe get some kind of indication. Oh, that's nice. Nothing in the pipes there once it shuts off. All right, let's turn it on again. You go to about 40 and then kick on, hold at 55. 40, it's on. The tank is set at 38 psi. About 54, 55. I think I'm gonna turn it down to about 53 or 4. And try to get the pump to run an extra couple seconds. All right, it's holding at 55. I'll give it another test first. I'll turn off the pump. Let's see. Looking at the timer on my phone, that'll tell me how many seconds it's going to take to get to 60. I don't see anything happening. This thing's already shut off, I think. The pressure switch shut off for some reason. And then you adjust that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try this again. I'm on at 40. Pump is running. .54. Steady. Let's check for leaks. Make sure we're not leaking anywhere. This is all new from here over. Check valves dry. All the connections, the slip unions look dry. Outstanding. So I did make a piece the exact size of 1 inch to fit in here in case I ever need to take this off or malfunction or clean it or whatever might happen to it, just in case. So far we're looking good. I can go ahead and bury that. This is set at 75 psi. It's pushing more than that, which we can see, not by much. Sorry, it's working. So we'll leave that for now. I'd like to set this, but I'm not sure how. There's a screw, 1/4 inch driving there, you gotta to turn that to set it. But for now, I'm gonna leave that like that. Let's check. We should be at about 54 psi. Pump running continuously. No cycling. Valve is doing its job. Like I said, every time that fills up, this thing cycles about 100, 120 times. 4 times a day. About 500 cycles on and off. Like I said, it's been about 15,000 in 5 weeks. That well pump. And it's brand new, so I can't imagine that's good for it. Throttling it back to 2 gallons per minute, according to everything I've read and anybody I've talked to. It's not an issue. And we're going to turn this off again. We're going to see how long it takes to fill up the pressure tank. It seems to be a little fast. So I'll probably have to do some more research or call cycle stop valves and see if I should turn it down a bit. It says a minute, but I'm not sure if that's max or minimum. I'll have to get on the internets and read that again. So, all right, I'm going to shut it off in about 5 seconds. Just heard the transformer blow down the street. That's what it sounded like. All right, it took 10 seconds. Seems a little quick, but I don't think that's an issue. I will do some research and find out. Otherwise, this baby is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. At this rate, I'll be cycling 4 times a day instead of 400 to 500. So, all right, that's it for this video. Any questions, leave them below. Appreciate you looking. Thank you. All right, I think I got it adjusted better now. Cut on. Like 40. Cut off was a little off. A little wonky. I'm at about 53, 54. Let it run for a minute to see if the switch shuts off for any reason. Shouldn't. Cut the water off. Alright, that's just about 60 on the nose. I'll cycle it a few more times to make sure it's on the money. And yeah, everything seems to be working great. Just to recap, if anybody's confused, the cycle stop valve is not controlling the water going into the house. That's controlled by this. Calcite, carbon, into the house. The cycle stop valve, in my situation, is being used to create reverse osmosis water. So it's keeping a constant pressure, or PSI, in my case, about 53, 54, and running my submersible about 4 times a day instead of 500 times. Because what was happening is it was cycling 40, 60, 40, 60 about every 10 seconds to 15 seconds on and off. And when I calculated that, that was about 450, 500, say, roughly a day of pump cycles. Now, I'm not a pump engineer, but I've done enough reading to know that that is not good for the pump. I've been dealing with this stuff for 25 years. And in my old system, I replaced my submersible that was in my aerator, not in the ground, this is new, every 2 years. And that was pumping the water to my house. I thought that was a little weird, but now I understand why. Because it kept cycling hundreds of times a day. So to prevent this from happening, I ordered a cycle stop valve. I talked to Sam over there. I showed him where I was going to place it. He said it was good to go. It's throttling the pump to 54 PSI, about 2 gallons a minute, which you can see on that little flow meter there. At 2 gallons a minute, this thing makes about 2,900 gallons a day, roughly. Now, we use about 160 gallons a day. So this float switch is set at 40 gallons drawdown. So every 40 gallons we use, roughly, it'll come on. And it'll make water for about 20 minutes to fill 40 gallons. That's 2 gallons a minute. So I went from over 4 to almost 500 cycles of my well pump, my submersible, a day to about 4. So anybody who says that this valve doesn't work, it might not work for your situation. If that was going to the house and every time you flush the toilet, the pump would come on for a couple seconds, maybe it's not for you. But in this situation, it's going to be a pump saver. And the bladder tank. Let's not forget the bladder tank was also cycling 500 times a day. Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's not good. Anything that goes up and down and moves around 500 times a day instead of 4 or 5 times a day is obviously going to create a lot more wear. So anyway, that's the story here. Any questions? I'd love to hear them. Any suggestions, any comments, leave them down below. I'll tell you what, they shipped that thing out and I got it in a couple days. And anybody complaining about the price for $2 and a quarter, whatever it cost me, I think it's worth a lot more. That's just my opinion. This you can make it for $150 and save 10 cents. Crap is stupid. Now again, it might not be for everybody's situation, but in this type of situation, if you got an RO system, you best have that. Otherwise, I'd be replacing submersible pumps every year or two. Who knows, maybe even sooner, and my bladder tank. So anyway, thanks for watching again. Leave any comments below.